Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Darkest Hour. Tonight is episode 76. We have Euthafro, Promoz, and Vincennt joining us tonight. Let's go say hi to the boys. How's it going? You guys hear me? Hello, hello, hello. There we go.
Hello.
What's up, boys? How's it going?
What's going on?
Hello, hello.
Good.
Not bad.
Good to have you all here. Jay, why aren't you live?
I am live.
Oh, I just checked your channel and you were offline. Let me
I was waiting.
Let me pull up your chat, brother. So yeah, there you are. Okay. Fucking microphone arm is always right in the way of my left side monitor. All right, let me pull up Jay's chat. Thanks for going live,
I don't know if
sir.
I've developed a tick or what, but I always do I move my mic arm. I don't actually move it. I just grab it and like move it up and down.
That's fair.
Exactly where it was. You guys do that?
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
I do that.
That's what I do when the fight gets intense.
Yeah.
My subconscious is taking over. I'm just grabbing the mic, swinging it around.
You know when you get shit on and then like you're waiting to get to the spectate scene, you're like readjusting.
Oh yeah, give me one of these. Give me two of those.
Yeah.
Depends on how bad it
Yeah.
was. 3 of them, I got cooked heavy.
Or what
Oh,
about
man.
having a fucking itch on your face right in the moment where you have to like be concentrating on a fight or doing something? You got that fucking goddamn it. Why right
You
now?
must stay strong. You know?
The moment that hand comes off the mouse, the rogue's coming around the corner. You know that.
Exactly. Or you have to like take a piss. You feel like you found the perfect hiding spot, and as you're walking back in, you see yourself getting shanked. That always happens to me.
That's the issue. You
It
gotta
happens to
hold
me
it.
in DayZ
Piss
too.
puff.
I'm
Never heard of
old.
the piss puff?
You know, I'm old. I have to. If I'm not wearing my Depends, I got to run to the shitter and pee. So
Unbelievable.
Oh, damn.
True gamer though.
True gamer. Yep. Gentlemen, like I said in the intro, it is episode 76. It's good to see you guys. Jay, good to see you, sir. How you feeling?
Feeling good. I don't know. I ate shit going down the stairs. I feel a little loopy ever since.
Did you
knocked
hit
me
your
in a
head?
different reality.
Hit your head?
No, I ate shit on my ass.
Okay.
Because I've never. I said this. I was telling other people anyway. So I think this is how I know I'm getting older. The last 2 times I've fallen down the stairs have been the worst, followed by the worst. It's a problem.
Damn. Okay. You gotta fucking be careful out there.
Right.
You hit that
Okay.
dab rig and stairs get tricky, so you gotta be careful, buddy.
You don't fly down the stairs, like full speed.
No.
That's the way to do it. I do it every time.
My
Mr.
dog pulls me down.
Your dog oh, that's dangerous. What kind of dog? You got a Shih Tzu or something? What do you got?
He's in the back. No, he's a border collie cattle dog. He'll probably be messing around on the couch behind me during the episode.
Wonderful. Well, yeah, Border Collie will definitely pull you down the stairs. Little balls of energy.
Yeah.
Mr. Promoz, it is excellent to finally fucking have you on, sir. I've been asking Jay several times for many, many months to get you
No,
on.
you say this, but
You want to? We're all in the DM now. Should we scroll up and read?
maybe.
I will prove you wrong.
Oh, shit.
I'll prove you wrong. There's
There's
receipts. There's receipts, exactly. But Promoz, love the content, love your candor and banter. It's always fun to watch you. Your druid content's awesome when you're playing druid, and yeah, man, it's good to finally have you on. So thanks for joining.
Absolute honor, Summer. Thank you so much for having me, Jay. Have a talk later. Anyways, let's get back
Yeah.
to the
No,
podcast.
we'll have a talk right now.
conversation later.
Why haven't I ever done a video intro for you? No, it's cool, man. It's cool.
Shit's
So it
getting personal in there. Okay. Well, we can talk about that later if you guys want a little one-on-one session on the Darkest Hour podcast.
Yeah.
Duke it out.
We'll
Iron it out.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Beautiful. Youthfro, so good to have you on as well. We had to delay your episode a couple times. Sorry about that. But it's great to finally have you on. Love the content, sir. I think you're quickly becoming a mainstay in the community, and I think a lot of people have a lot of respect for your approach and your general attitude. So thank you for joining, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I've been a fan of the podcast ever since The Darkest Hour, back episode 1 when we didn't even have the game to play. So, it's cool
Nice.
to have come full circle, and now I'm on here. It's actually crazy, surreal. So thanks.
Hell yeah. Awesome, man. Vincennt, one of Iron Mace's wardens, a quickly rising star, I'd say, in the dark and darker community in terms of content creation. You're a freak of nature. I think, with a couple of classes. And honestly, it just gets boring watching you fucking Terminator everybody after a while. Like, come on, dude. You got to let them win once in a while. Reset the fucking game once in a while, okay? Save some for the rest of us. But it's great to have you on, man. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, it's an honor. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. I see you in chat, Party Chip. Don't worry, we'll get you on. You're next. But yeah, guys. Obviously, SDF did a big Q&A. I wouldn't even say it's big. He did a Q&A on the 17th, which I believe was just a couple days ago. Yeah. And a nice person on Reddit compiled it into a cute little doc. I'll show you on the screen here. Here's the document. We're going to go through it, but not yet. Not yet, because I want to get everyone's thoughts, except for Jay's, because Jay doesn't even play Dark and Darker. But I want to get everyone's thoughts on the state of the game, how they're feeling about patch 68, 69, and then the aftermath of that and how things have changed, and if we're trending up and to the right on the graph for fun and a good game, and just general thoughts. So I was hoping maybe we could start with Euthafro and then go around the digital room here.
Sure. So, I don't actually feel like the game is that different than it was like a month or two ago, but people are complaining way more. So definitely something is pissing people off, and it's definitely something we should be looking at. But for me personally, I've been having a good time. I took a decent amount of time off during this wipe. Probably, I'd already taken like a week break maybe before hotfix 69. The infamous hotfix 69 came out, and I took that as a sign that I should just continue that break for another week and see what happens. And so I felt refreshed coming back from that. To me, the minus 15 HP felt really good because I play Warlock and I have no damage unless I just follow someone around for 20 years or I hit all headshots on Bolt of Darkness or something like that. So for me, like, I haven't actually minded the game that much. I think there's a couple outliers that make it hard to play in certain ways, like Longbow Ranger. Everybody's been backstepped on a million times by now. Everybody's been one-shot by a Barbarian. These are things that happen. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like balance is that bad. I think people just at the end of a wipe start to get restless. We've seen it time and time again. Everybody starts nitpicking on things that have been in the game and have been problems. But when people are distracted by fun and new stuff, they don't think about those things as much. But at the end of wipe, there's nothing new. And so while we wait, we stew and people get more and more mad. So hopefully wipe is not that far away. But honestly, I've still been having a good time in the dungeon.
Yeah, I think you're right about people trying to find something, or slowly over the course of a wipe finding something to bitch about. I mean, if you open a big bag of chips and you're eating it and they're delicious, if you keep eating them after a while, they're going to go stale after a little bit, right? And then they're not going to be as delicious. And you're going to want to discard the bowl of chips or bag of chips and eat something else. And I think
Never had that problem.
A true dabber. I think that a lot of folks are feeling that stale taste right now. I think that's one of the issues. I think that this particular wipe was not that exciting, right? Like, we got an old map back as new content. Oh, by the way, I said that a nice person on Reddit put together that dev Q&A document. It was fucking so bad strange. Like, who is this random individual? No, it was fucking so bad. I just wanted to throw that out there.
He loves doing those.
Yes, he does. He's a dork. But I think that's the current issue. It's people really need something new, and I think the dev Q&A we're going to read hopefully will refresh gamers that are playing Dark and Darker. I think it'll help a lot. A couple of questions that we'll cover especially. Mr. Vincennt, you're pretty close to the game at this point. I mean, you help with the community. What are your thoughts? You can be honest. SDF's not watching. Don't worry.
I feel like we've been in this exact meta before, and it just feels like a big loop, which is kind of weird. But
yeah,
I mean, to me, the game is still fun, except for like maybe trios right now.
Why not? What's wrong with trios, in your opinion?
First of all the rats, and second of all, Cleric.
Yeah.
The two big culprits. But other than that, I mean, Solos is fun, duos is fun. I'm having fun.
Okay. All right. All right, Switzerland. Okay.
All right, I was waiting my turn.
Get in there.
I'm gonna address the elephant in the room.
Get in there.
All right. Cleric is beyond fucking broken.
Yeah, it
Sorry, I
is.
don't know if I can curse in the podcast, but
Go for it, brother.
beyond broken.
I agree. Whenever when in trios, when a cleric is pocket healing a barb or something, the best thing you can do is just leave. that's the option. Just go the other way and hope that he doesn't have crush to break down those doors as his pocket healer
I
follows
just
him.
don't. Hasn't Cleric been in this boat for like 5 months now? Something like that.
I'm feeling it more than ever right now for some reason. I don't know why. Like,
yeah, and it almost doesn't make sense to me because they lowered HP across the board for everyone to decrease TTK, but then they leave magical healing as is. And SDF commented last wipe that he said, yeah, I wanted to make Cleric the strongest class because it's been like really underperforming. And then since then, it hasn't been nerfed, but it's actually been buffed. And here we are. And then every other class is nerfed, but Cleric is just Thanos.
okay, tell us something you like.
What do I like?
We'll wait.
I like the Ranger buffs. I think it's balanced. I think they should keep it this way. Maybe give us one more backstep charge. Maybe.
All right.
Okay.
What else? I mean, nothing else seems really bad. I can't really speak for solos or duos. I have been playing a little bit of duos, but in trios, nothing else really feels as strong as Cleric. In my opinion, of course.
Me, Arena definitely makes that the most apparent because you can't like third party. Like you're never gonna run into a cleric that's already low on spells, so he's gonna blast every single one of those heals,
Right.
and you got to chew through every single one. Both Sanks, you got to deal with the earthquake. It's tough.
That's
And
a
I like
really
to
good point.
say-
Yeah.
What, Promo? Why are you advocating for Ranger buffs? What's up with that?
Nah, I'm just memeing.
You know,
We just listen. Let us have this. Like Ranger's been borderline unplayable for the last 2 wipes. Just let us have this one.
Nuts bust?
I do think, on a serious note, I do think backstep needs a slight nerf. Does feel a little strong,
It's so fun to use.
but yeah.
Yeah,
about it.
I don't like Ranger. I don't like ranged in Ranger. I don't like playing a game of chase in the dungeon. But I will say, crossbow, spear, backstep Ranger is just fucking fun to play. It's that having that mobility is fun. And if you know how to use it right, you can certainly abuse the fuck out of it. And there's certain classes that just won't catch you, which is nice. Especially in solos and duos. Trios, it kind of falls off a little bit. It's not as great. But it is a lot of fun to play. I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
I don't know. Is it backstep or is it the damage though?
Both.
Backstep, because you could do the same damage on other classes.
Yeah, I feel like any class
Fair.
has the capability to do the same damage. I mean, you hit
Kind
2
of.
fireballs, the guy's dead.
Crossbow headshots, though, on a
Crossbow, yeah.
Ranger are, come on, they're really fucking hitting hard. Big time.
I mean, I got hit for 70% of my HP by a bard crossbow headshot.
And
That's
that was a
Ranger,
bard.
130
Yeah.
health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine you had the headshot perk and the range mastery perk on top of that. Now
Yeah.
you're at 10% health. It's pretty fucking strong, I think.
I think one of the big strengths of backstep is that it allows you to build differently on your kit. You don't need as much movement speed. Like it's
Or
I mean,
action
I
speed.
play mostly solos, so in a solos game, you always have to deal with sprint and rage.
Yeah.
Ranger can be at 102 move speed and still deal with those just by backstepping to the nearest door.
Yeah, and you can hit like little jumps over gaps and stuff, like the
Mhm.
yeah.
elevator room in
nice.
Goblin Caves.
Nice skill expression. I
Yeah,
feel like.
it's abusable. Yeah.
True.
Skill expression, but abusable. But it's fucking fun to use. It really is. Roid Rage in Jay's chat says, Jay looking like a sorcerer. And I'm really happy he brought that up because I've been playing a lot of Wizard and Warlock because I'm not typically a caster class, because I'm excited about Sorcerer, which is hopefully coming with the content wipe or the content patch and the wipe.
Surely.
Surely it will. I mean, at this point, I can't confirm or deny, but he's basically saying that, and we'll get to that in the Q&A. I think based on what I've seen, and you're damn straight that I've dug through every single piece of literature internally at Iron Mace to see what the hell is coming. I'm so fucking excited for the class. Holy shit, I can't wait. That's all I'm going to say.
Alright.
I want to know what you guys... have you guys theory crafted at all about sorcerer? Are you guys worried about another caster class? Give me your thoughts and opinions on the potential positives and negatives in any theory crafting you've done on the next Dark and Darker class, the sorcerer. And why don't we start with Euthafro?
I mean, what do we know besides two-hand casting, and they'll have more spells? I'm getting ahead of ourselves again, but supposedly they're supposed to have more spells than wizard, even. So to me, that just sounds like exactly what I would like. I mean, I used to play wizard. I switched to warlock as soon as I realized I could play spellcaster and not sit down anymore.
Yeah.
So I've been playing warlock ever since. I play like 5% of my time each wipe on other classes. So, you know, it's a class that sounds like it's right up my alley. I haven't theory crafted shit besides get me in there, man. I just want to get in there and try it.
Right.
Running around with no spell book sounds fun. Barehand casting sounds like it'd be better at base than warlock, because warlock is kind of trash at base unless you just abuse mobs. But yeah, I don't know. Just get me in there. I don't have any expectations.
Okay. Yeah, you said, I mean, and this is something that SDF said, is the sorcerer will have more spells than the wizard. And part of the class design is you have a spell that you can cast in your right hand and your left hand, and he said that he wants you to be able to combine them, right? Well, imagine you're playing a 10 spell sorcerer and you have 10 spells at your disposal, and then a lot of those, if not most of them, and I don't know what that number is, I do know what it is, but I can't say it. Imagine you can combine almost all of those spells to make something new, which is what the whole point of the class is based on SDF's words. Suddenly you're looking at dozens of spells. You're looking at a fuckload of spells with a kit that goes far beyond anything else, potentially. That's kind of scary. We'll get to that.
It sounds like a content creator's dream, man. For me, most of my videos are like based around different builds and, you know, playing warlock a slightly different way, gearing a different way. So for a sorcerer, it's going to be infinite, right? Fingers crossed.
I can't say, but it will play differently than other classes, because that's kind of what Iron Mace tends to do, right? They want every class to feel a little bit different. Okay. Vincennt, Promoz, have you guys been theory crafting or have any doomer thoughts or positive thinking when it comes to the Sorc, or are you just playing the waiting game? Let's see how it goes.
Too little information, I feel like. I don't know.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think I've been saying this. They need new spells. We need new weapons. I think they need to add more abilities, kind of similar to backstep to other classes, to give more abilities to close the gaps. So if you're getting kited and stuff, a bit more skill expression. I think that's mainly the lack of content. What people want to see, new stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, so many people disagree with me, but some agree that it's good to have resets or a little bit of mobility, so that if you get caught, you're not just fucking dead outright. Like having a reset, having a backstep like ability. Hell, I even like Phantomize, and I'm not afraid to fucking admit it. Like I think those kind of skills to reset a fight is okay, as long as it's designed right.
I agree.
So I hope we see that with not just the new classes, but the older classes, right? Like I feel like some of those older classes need a fucking facelift. I don't know.
For sure.
Gentlemen, shall we dig into the Q&A? Okay. That's
Sure.
a yes. Beautiful. So Bad Strange, I see you in chat. Thanks for putting this document together. You are a good man. Thank you very much. All right.
I will say I don't know if I'm super excited for more ranged, but it's sorcerer, so I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's another ranged class, right? Ranged and Ranger is going to become more of a fucking slow-paced FPS. That's just where it's going. So in the Q&A, we'll get to it, but SDF's admitted, look, we need to give a little bit of love to those older classes that sort of feel like the Model T next to a Mustang, right? So
Sure.
those are my words, not his exact words, by the way.
I was about to say, I'm impressed. He's picking up his English.
All right, Dark and Darker, Iron Mace Dev Q&A, November 17th, written by So Bad Strange. What a good man. Formatting by Nessie, a warden. What a nice individual. Thanks, Nessie and So Bad. All right. SDF says he's going to try to make his answers as non-misleading as possible. Non-misleading as possible. Interesting use of words. But we will.
Translation error.
Of course, I'm just teasing.
Has to be.
Absolutely. First question is, do you guys have anything planned to reduce the effectiveness and prevalence of bows in the current meta? He says, sure. I'm still testing it to tweak the items in general, like in 69, and taking my time to avoid the mistake I made in 69 and deciding to release it too soon. We'll also be tweaking the balance of the current season a bit before Arena Ranked launches. We recognize that Rangers, Barbarians, and Clerics are a bit OP in healing. Okay, so we're talking about Ranged and Ranger. We have Sorcerer coming, and the first question is, are we planning to reduce the effectiveness and prevalence of bows, which are a problem, in my opinion, a little bit in the game. He says he's tweaking the balance of the current season a bit before Arena Ranked launches. So I know we all kind of agree that Range and Ranger is a bit of an issue. So let's actually talk about Ranked Arena. Are you guys enjoying Arena? And once Ranked comes out, will that be enough incentive to jump into the Arena more if you're not playing it currently? Will it cement you as an Arena player even more? Like, what are your thoughts on Ranked Arena coming very soon?
I think Arena is sick. I think they just need to add some sort of, incentive or reward. Like, if you win the game, maybe give tokens so you can roll gear, class tokens per win, something like that.
Yeah, I think tokens would be cool for every, not every win, but every like 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that. And then if you hit a certain rank, like they gotta hook it up with a cosmetic or something, right? Like surely.
Yeah.
Like that's gotta happen, and it's gotta be locked to the season without the ability to purchase it after, I think, as well. I don't know if you guys would agree with that.
Yeah.
So it's just like another AP rewards, kind of.
In a way. I mean, you're building off systems that already exist instead of trying to reinvent something or build something up from scratch and it not working.
Is it bad to make the rank rewards the same as the AP rewards? Because I, for one, this season especially, I've hit Demi every season. This season, it's looking bleak. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make myself do it. And I would love an alternative way that involves more dopamine for me to get those same rewards.
I think that's a good idea.
And it doesn't require any extra effort. They don't have to make new stuff. They can just have it be a different track to the same reward. Is that incentive enough?
For me, it is, because I hate HR. I don't think it's a good mode. I've disliked HR since playtest 4. I just think I don't think it's a good mode. I don't think it's great for the game. I don't think it's a fun end game. So if I could reach a demigod type rank and get all the cosmetics that all the HR grinders are getting and AP grinders are getting through Arena, fuck yeah. Because I think Arena is way more fun than HR. Way more fun. And it's not even close. But that's just me. What do you think, Promoz?
I disagree.
Okay.
I think the game in normals is just extremely boring, and you kind of plateau like very, very early. It's like the whole end game is trying to get as strong as possible for all your characters, and you can only really get that from HR. And then you're also going to be running into equally geared players in HR, rather than just running around in normals and just fighting people in gray gear. In my opinion, that's just where I have the fun.
At the same time, though, is the fun you're having in HR in any way tied to the AP system?
Not at all. Not even a little bit. The AP system is bad.
I generally would agree. I think the PvP in HR is really fun, but again, like the strength and the power growing my power over the season, growing my wealth, my stash, all those things are incentive enough for me to go into HR. The AP is like a chore at the end of it. So
yeah. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're logging into Dark and Darker to do your chores.
Well, now it's not as bad, right, as it was last season, because now all you have to do is just go down, kill the boss, and you get a decent amount of AP. So it's definitely
I
gone
mean,
a
it's-
bit better.
Feels like it's just more of a drag though compared to last season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
To
I think
actually
it
get
takes
demigod.
longer.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on to the arena topic though,
Yeah.
I also have had a blast in arena, and I've been having a really good time with it. And it's incentivized me to do things in other parts of the game that I didn't give a shit about in previous seasons. I didn't care about leveling my vendors up. I never did my quests. I didn't craft. I didn't do any of that stuff. I think the beauty of arena to me is, I mean, the PvP itself is fun, but to me, it's how it ties well into the other systems of the game. It gives me a reason to do the quests. It gives me a reason to want to craft gear. It gives me something to spend money on throughout the course of the season that isn't just buying more gold coin bags. After like I get 5 of those, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care about getting more gold storage. That's not interesting to me. I'd much rather get cool shit and amass more cool shit. And arena kit is a really cool thing that you work on over the course of the wipe. That being said, to me, one of the issues with arena, besides there not being like a end game goal to it right now, is that it reveals issues with other systems in the game because of how it ties in. So, for example, I think it's annoying as shit to try and kill Ghost King, go down to Inferno 8 times in a row, only to never even see Ghost King. So, I was incentivized to do the quests, which I liked, but then I did the quests and I didn't really like the quests that much. So, it's like, to me, that the value is how it incentivizes you to do these other things and to behave differently elsewhere in the dungeon. But it also then showed us that maybe we need to work on these other parts of the game too to make them a little bit more engaging and rewarding and less frustrating. Because also the map rotation is another thing. Because I wanted to do the quests, I then had to struggle with the map rotation and constantly having to wait for the queue in order to do the specific quest that I wanted, all because the end game was to craft the arena chess piece that I was looking for. So I don't know how to fix that besides just like making some of the quests a little bit less annoying, but
I think
I'm in the same boat. This whole wipe for me personally has just been a grind to build the best possible arena set. So I actually like the way arena is set up right now. I think it would be a lot better if there was any sort of reward to it. Like that's the only reason why I find myself getting bored playing it, is that it's like, you know, it gets old if you're not working towards something.
Yeah, I also just feel dumb not having like a minted bow and then just buying an item every time I lose. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm playing this shit. Might as well just go back to the wizard or something, you know?
Yeah.
Bit of a shame.
someone mentioned
Give me something for it at least.
someone mentioned last episode, what if when you are in the crypts and you're going to a red and there, what if there's a glyph or a statue or something over each red portal or red downstairs that shows what the boss is, so you can choose if you want to go down there and engage with that boss or just take a blue and get out and reset.
That's a really good idea.
I think that'd be really, really smart, because once you go down there, especially if you're AP grinding in HR, once you go down to Inferno, you're fucking stuck down there until you can get a blue and get out. And if you don't want to fucking dick around down there for 13 minutes because it's Warlord or Ghost King and you're trying to kill a Lich, now you just got to fucking sit around and fucking kill PvE, because there's not fucking PvP down there anymore. Let's be real. And it's very rare when there is. And then you're literally just waiting around for 13 minutes so you can leave. That sucks.
I think they're gonna change the whole system where all layers are at the same time, right?
You think?
Yes. Well,
think?
that's what's been mentioned in the
I
a
think
couple
that'll fix
times.
that problem.
We'll see.
Like you just instantly go down, check the boss. It's not what you want. Go back up.
I think if that really does happen, if there's not some
You might
sort
as
of
well skip to
regulation.
that one.
Well, we'll
Skip
get
to that one real quick.
it's
I
definitely one of the most
don't
interesting
know.
things in this Q&A, if you ask me.
Hold on, I don't know
Sure.
where it's bookmarked at. One second.
I think it was pretty close to the top.
Let's see here. I'm not gonna go through 8 pages. We're just gonna continue through it. We'll get to that. Okay, so the next question is, when will new perks, spells, and abilities be added to the game? And old, unused ones, when will they be reworked? Answer: I'll start once I'm more organized about item balance. Well, that's pretty vague. So I, for one, have been saying that helping out the older classes and fixing up those old perks and skills that are not used should be not top priority, but somewhat of a priority. I think part of that stale taste that we were talking about earlier is because there's just not a lot of build variety, not a lot of interesting progression systems. And if you're not playing a certain couple of skills and perks on several of the classes, you're just not having a good time because you're getting your ass kicked. And that absolutely speeds up the that stale taste. So let's see here. Question: are there any plans for the training system already? Example, skill trees, subclassing, etc. My favorite question. Answer: I want to really focus on it, but I can't focus on many things at once. So I want to fix the most problematic spots first and then focus on those things. Again, really vague, unfortunately. Question: what is planned as far as new content, and what is on the books for bows and crossbows at the moment? People are really interested in range and ranger shit. Okay.
Fuck bows.
Get over it.
No.
One white man. We can't have one white.
It's not fair.
Here's the answer. Basically, our big goal for new content is to add more endgame goals. We're also interested in making the existing game loop healthier in a number of ways. We're interested in adding a variety of endgame goals. For example, Arena was designed as an endgame goal for PvP players, and we'll be launching Arena ranking this season. That's not to say that the end of PvP endgame goals. That's not to say that's the end of PvP endgame goals, excuse me. We have a lot of ideas, and once Arena is established, we'll think about what's next. Also, for players like completionists, we're going to add an achievement system next season so that you can collect and achieve things beyond the season. And we're looking to add 2 big systems to improve the existing game loop. This is specifically tied to addressing the shortcomings of the 3-layer system. We're working on a continuous entry system similar to the floor matchmaking system that we talked about earlier. And this is about creating an environment where the player is constantly engaged inside the dungeon. This will allow the player to escape immediately or immediately progress to deeper dungeons. We'll share more details in the future when we have a more finalized look. We're also working on a random dungeon system that will shuffle the dungeon modules we've been modularizing for a while now. We hope this will improve the current game loop, which is currently too repetitive. I said earlier that I wasn't too interested in this, but as usual, I've been playing the game for a long time and have come to similar conclusions as you. We believe that there should be more variety inside the dungeons, and we will start with this system and expand it more and more. All right, a lot to fucking unpack in there. Let's start with the achievement system. Do you guys give a shit about achievements?
Not at all.
Nope.
Same.
Not really, but they're cool, I guess.
That is, I mean, that as a content creator that is playing Dark and Darker full time, obviously, once you're tired of other shit in the game and you need something to do, well, what are you going to do? You're going to become an achievement hunter. So many people do that. People do that in all kinds of games. And people will farm every single mount in World of Warcraft for content. You know, people will do anything to keep their audience engaged and entertained. So all of us here not really caring much about achievements, which is fair, but I guarantee you all of you motherfuckers are going to try to get all of them at one point.
I will say I don't really care about achievements for the sake of like ticking a box. If an achievement comes with like a cosmetic that shows off that I did something cool, then I'm interested. Something like
Like a
Demigod
Oh yeah.
could have been cooler. It's just nobody really respects getting to Demi. It's like, well, cool, you collected a bunch of treasure. If like the Arena Demigod comes with a unique cosmetic, if you could consider that an achievement, cool. You know, something like that, I'd like that. But if it doesn't come with like a badge of honor, kind of, I'm not interested.
I totally agree. If I get something for my efforts, something I can display or look at or point to, it does feel like an achievement because you can show your cute little prize that you got for it, right? Just some empty text that sits in an achievement log, it's not going to do it for me. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Definitely could be cool. Some sort of horizontal progression in the game. What if you could customize like the little icons bottom left of your character portrait? Like what if you can
Sure.
get like a different one
That'd be cool.
or something like that, or
Cooking. This man's cooking.
Could
A
be good.
border or something like that.
Yeah. Make it look different.
I'm down. That sounds good.
So we're looking to add 2 big systems to improve the existing game loop. We're working on a continuous entry system similar to the floor matchmaking system. So this will keep people constantly engaged inside the dungeon, or so they hope. That allows you to escape immediately or immediately progress to deeper dungeons. So, look, escaping immediately. What is the grandfather, the godfather of extraction games? Tarkov. And if you decide to run across the map really fast and escape within 2.5 minutes of entering interchange, guess what? You get something called pass through. What is it? Run through.
Run through.
Run
yeah.
through.
Yeah, run through.
Not pass through. Sorry. You get run through. You don't really get anything for it. You dick around for a couple minutes. You decide to run through and get out. Nothing wrong with that, as long as you know that you're getting the run through status for that run. I think that's totally fine. I'm not actually opposed to people being able to escape immediately. What I'm worried about is when I start a match with a buddy or two, and we get to our first PvP bout, and it's just some fucking loser hanging out next to a blue portal waiting to get attacked and then just running out. And I'm really afraid that that's going to happen.
I mean, if you wanted to never die, you could just stand anywhere by a staircase with Phantomize, right?
Yep.
You could possibly never ever die in Warlock if you wanted to. That makes me a little bit nervous.
Yep, same.
I mean, that's a big problem in Tarkov too, right? Just people camping extractions. So
True.
comes with the game, the looter shooter.
I mean,
I'm worried
there's a
about rats.
there's a Twitch
Rats,
streamer
too.
literally named Xville Camper that plays Tarkov. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean,
he
it's
came
a
over
thing.
to Dark and Darker too. Brought his tactics here. Windless
over
traps.
Damn
on
it.
Crypt.
I'm
Yeah.
way more worried about the Reds. Every game, the boss is gonna be dead in like 5 minutes time. You know, it's gonna eliminate half the dungeon off the top.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
And what about all the players? What about half the lobby trying to kill the boss, and then half of them instantly rush Reds all the way down? I don't know.
Inferno is going to be. I think it's going to become the new layer that everyone fights in. That's going to become the new PvP layer, the new PvE layer. Why?
That's really bad, though, I think, because it's a 3x3, and if there's more than 2 teams down in Inferno, it just becomes unplayable. You just can't even move your small module.
You took the
Yeah.
words out of my mouth, dude. Absolutely correct. It is going to be packed down there.
Unless you could go back up a floor.
Well, now we're getting
Will
silly.
that be
No
possible?
shot.
No shot they
that's
do
correct.
that.
Shot they do that.
No.
That would be
Okay.
awful. Oh yeah, people would just be dancing between blues. You think ratting is bad now? Just imagine rats that are just going in between blues and reds, trying to pick a kill clean as quickly as they can, dodging in and out, and then escaping once their bags are full, never dying, never engaging other people. That could well happen.
I actually don't think the ratting is the problem. Like, you can play like a rat. It's pairing up the ratting with cheating, like ESP and stuff, that makes them a lot more successful than they should be. But that's like a whole separate conversation. So
Yeah.
there's no way to really combat rats, because if anyone's ever tried ratting, you can't have 100% success rate and just always being right place, right time perfectly.
No, you're right about that.
I can't even pickpocket nowadays
Yeah.
in fucking normals.
Yeah.
It's just shameless as fuck.
Okay. Let's see. Does anyone else have thoughts about being able to go up and down, or down to Inferno immediately to kill bosses, or down to Ice Abyss immediately to go start killing the Wyvern? Do you guys care?
Does this floor matchmaking thing imply that we're creating new lobbies every time we go down? Or is it everyone that's on ruins can only ever go into the same Inferno?
I don't think it's creating new lobbies.
I think they ditched lobby merging for that. Because it doesn't make any sense.
I don't actually know, so I can't answer. But yeah.
I could see a world where they only ever let 2 teams into the same Inferno, and then Inferno then just becomes find the other team, then do the boss, and that sounds fine to me.
If that's what it turned into, or if that's what it was, like, hey, there's almost always going to be another team down here that's going to vie for that boss kill. That actually sounds kind of fun, because PvP in Inferno is fun. I legitimately like fighting down there if I know I'm not getting third partied.
I agree.
like it-
3v3s in Inferno are really, really fun, but add one more team to the equation, and it's just really bad.
I feel like it's fun until they just decide to just camp somewhere and you can never push
Yeah.
because of high ground.
I
It's
was
just-
gonna say half the fights don't. Yeah, you're just sitting in a doorway, like no one's
Yeah.
moving.
Well, that's
Well, one team
that's
has
because
the
they
spot,
add
and the other team can't push it. They just die.
yeah,
you know?
before they added the triple portals down in Inferno in every module. It was a lot more fun because now people, if they do go Inferno, they just hold wherever they spawn. and
Yeah.
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 This next paragraph that they mention, that SDF mentioned in his answer, was about shuffling dungeon modules and trying to randomize those dungeon modules. I think that's amazing. I can't see how
Thank God.
anyone would be upset
Yes.
about that. Like that's a W across the board, in my opinion. I think it is. Does anyone think otherwise? Because if you
No, I
do,
agree.
come on.
I guess
That
I'm just
random
having.
spawn-
Go ahead.
And they need to add random spawns too, because people spawning in the same locations is very, very unhealthy. That people just rush the spawns clear and then
Sure.
third party central.
Well,
Agree.
speaking of the spawn rush, I have no idea how that's even going to work on ruins because there's walls that aren't the same in between different modules, and so theoretically, randomizing the modules would make it less likely that there would be spaces to jump over walls and spawn rush like that. But I just am having trouble seeing how they would even go together. Just
Mm,
raise the walls up, maybe. I don't know.
That's
maybe
the
the
bad
walls
guy's
stay the
problem.
same.
You could just run through and open the doors. Like you can just kite the mobs, open the door, and just run through. I don't even know. Like jumping over isn't really the biggest factor, in my opinion. Like I was talking on stream the other day. What if they made it so that in order to progress past your module, you had to clear like a certain amount of it, or else the doors just stay locked, and you can't just like run out and push across the map.
Oh, so Druid's the only class now. That's what you're saying. You
Well,
just
no,
have to
like
roll window.
they can't. They can't. There's a barrier. They can't go anywhere. They have to clear.
They can't even like break it
Yeah,
down
that'd
with
be
crush.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then you get
I
the
would hate
shit
to spawn
module.
in the yeah, I'd hate to spawn where the slimes
Yeah.
are.
Mm,
Mm.
mm.
It could
Wait,
work.
So what
I'm
happens
just
if you
not a
just
Yeah.
never kill the mobs though? Or just safe? No one else can go into your module.
It's a good
You know?
point. I don't know.
I'm not a huge fan of like adding sort of contrived mechanics to make players behave certain ways. Like I don't really like the idea of like preventing you from having two wizards on the same team or like I don't know, whatever, like adding like contrived things that is sort of like an ambiguous rule. Gear score is kind of that way. I don't love gear score just because it's another contrived rule about how you have to go about playing the game. Not that like Dark and Darker is the most immersive experience ever, but it seems almost like immersion breaking or something that just bugs me about it. So
I mean,
I don't
it's
love it,
flawed
but
too. You can just bring in 7 quarterstaffs in your bag and just have your gear score up, but you're wearing full squire gear. So I mean, I don't even think it's working right.
you're right. It's not.
That's true. Yeah.
It is
That's
always
a really
funny
good
to see
point.
the pile of like blue bullshit weapons that somebody leaves on spawn.
Oh, every game. It's every game.
Yeah, no, not good. Okay, let's go to the next question here. STF is very generous for even replying to this person. Why always only premium account have something good like arena or 125 plus? Why can't we have donate value with hard quests or something? The answer was, we're sorry, but we have to make a living too. Like the game, you can try the game for free. It's not free enough for some people. I don't know. It's very annoying to me. But STF's a good guy. He answered that person's question.
He's just asking. What's wrong with that?
It's annoying. I don't know. I just think it's annoying. Like, obviously, the devs need to make money, or Iron Mace will go bye-bye, and then there's no toy to play with anymore. And it's just, I don't know. It's fine.
To this annoying guy's point, they did just kind of mess with the way free-to-play players can access normals with the gear score brackets. Because now you can't enter normals at all unless you have lower than 125 gear score. So if you happen to find a purple weapon as a free-to-play player, you just can't use it, pretty much.
Yeah. Totally.
It's messed up.
So like, I guess what my point is, it feels worse to have something and then have it taken away than to have like never had it.
That
So
is
I
the
kinda
one issue that
do-
I agree with you. That is
Yeah.
the issue. Is once you change the stipulations a little too much, once you've given someone something, which has happened many times with several different systems in the game, that's annoying. But to ask the devs why the free shit is not more free when it's clearly a business that needs to make money to keep people employed and keep the lights on, it's just a waste of time. But maybe I'm just a jerk. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
No,
maybe
I
I'm
mean,
jaded. Maybe I'm jaded
the
after
answer
12
is
years in this
obvious.
industry.
I do just somewhat sympathize with those players, but it's not an expensive game, and you'll definitely get your money's worth. Just buy it.
Fair.
Or at least put regional pricing out. Call it a day.
Oh, trust me, I'm pushing hard for that. Just as a marketing guy, like if I want people to buy the game in other regions of the world where I plan on advertising, you gotta have regional pricing. You just gotta do it. I'm working on a couple of things, so patience, please, my friends.
I mean, I don't think it's bad. I understand they got to make a living, but I do think there's better methods of monetizing the game, in my opinion.
Like what?
Like more cosmetics.
Yes, I agree.
Different like weapon skins. Like
Weapon
sell
skins
us
in
the stash
general.
tabs already.
We're weapon
Yeah.
skins in general, and yeah, why can't we buy stash tabs with a red shard?
yeah, like cosmetics. Like let me buy a gold chain for my wrist, or like
Hold up.
something.
Oh,
Whoa.
wait a minute.
I
Some
need
dungeon
that.
drip?
Yeah.
Imagine getting the frostlight chain. Holy shit.
Yeah, they would fucking make way more.
Some
just,
decals
like-
on the side of your windlass when you're opping in the
Yeah.
dungeon. Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. Question: why is there still no personal lobby where you can view damage on dummies, etc.? And second part: why are there no silver crafts for all weapons? Why are some classes deprived of the opportunity to carry popular silver weapons?
Amen. Amen.
Oh my!
Where's my silver spellbook?
Forget
How is
about
the
the
only
silver.
option where's the silver crystal sword?
spellbook. Silver crystal sword.
Serious
Listen to what you
question.
just said.
Where's the silver longbow?
Yeah, give me a silver light sword, for fuck's sake.
That sounds cool. He says, I would like to support that in the future with an improved gathering hall or housing system. So unfortunately, I don't feel it's a good idea to be redundant with the work we do now when it will just be removed in the future. He sort of just skates around part 2. I think it's just dev time. I think they're just like slowly chipping away at crafting stuff, and it just takes time. And I know that sounds like a cop-out answer, but sometimes the cop-out answer is actually just true. It just takes fucking time. Like straight up. Like people don't like hearing that, but game dev is not easy, and this is not an AI generated game. There's human beings coding this, and they have like families and shit, so it just takes some time. Let's see here. I want to ask about housing system. Vincennt, would you use the housing system? Would you have a cool little shack to hang out in Dark and Darker? Do you think it's a waste of time?
Sure.
Okay.
Nah, that'd be my main focus at that point.
okay. Why?
everything
Tell us
out.
why.
Well, I mean, like if they add like achievements and then you get maybe like a cool trinket for killing Ghost King 100 times or whatever.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like collecting that kind of stuff feels like just like fun. I've done that in if it feels like a Tarkov hideout, that'll be fun as well. Where you could just infinitely upgrade. It just sounds
So
like
now-
more content.
Now, Vincennt, what if as you're achievement hunting and you kill the Ghost King 100 times, what if that achievement reward is some new cool shit to put in your house? That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I said.
that's what he said.
Oh, that's you. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was not listening. My mistake.
It's fine. It's fine.
I see. I have a bunch of text and shit that I'm monitoring on the screen. So sometimes, as I'm replying and nodding to you guys, I don't even know what you've said. So sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, fair enough. My bad. It's okay. Everyone can make fun of me in chat. I don't mind. Okay.
Idiot.
Totally.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Absolutely. It's okay.
I know.
You can make fun of me.
He said it was okay.
It's okay. Chat, you can make fun of me. It's all right. It was a mistake. Okay, let's get back to it. Is the socketing system coming soon? Answer: the socket system is currently in the works and will be released next season. And I wanted to help solve the problem of random modifiers taking too long to get Bissington. I'd like to use this question as an opportunity to explain why I'm so focused on item balance. For the record, I should say that I was the one who was initially interested in bringing random modifiers to the game and keeping the gap between items large and widening it further. Okay. And that's what the alpha looked like as a result of that design. But now I've changed my mind and I'm focusing on the opposite direction. Random modifiers are a fun tool for players to create different builds for themselves and for us. They're a great way to increase player playtime, player retention. However, random modifiers are like gambling, forcing players to invest a lot of time and making it harder for players with less playtime, the majority of players being mid to low level, to get BIS, best in slot items. It also has the problem of making BIS items very expensive because the time it takes to get a good item is so long, which is also a strong incentive for RMT and cheaters. True. Because of this, players at the mid and low levels of the player pyramid quickly realize that this is a game that they cannot compete in properly without investing countless hours, and they leave. Of course, there are many reasons why players leave, but this is a big one. Therefore, I would like to reduce the time it takes to get a good item to a more acceptable level so that players of different levels have a more level playing field. However, this does not mean that I want to reduce it to 0, which would undermine the inherent fun of the game. Okay, so I personally think it's going to be really fun if items have a base stat or something like that, or 2, and then depending on if it's green or blue or purple or whatever the fuck, it has more sockets. And as you're grinding in the dungeon, you find whatever these gems are that you can put in it, that each have an associated statistic or passive or whatever. That, I get some Path of Exile vibes a bit. That sounds really fun. Do you guys think that would breathe new life into the game if you're now playing through a dungeon that has random modules, randomized dungeons, and you're finding gear that has empty slots in it, and you're finding gems that have different passives and perks or whatever the fuck on it, stats, and you can actually build with the socket system your dream kits? Does that sound fun to you?
I mean, it sounds cool, but if the reasoning behind bringing the socket system is what he said was to make it so that casual players are more accessible to it, they should just buff the loot. Like, no reason to rework the entire armor and weapon system for that. Buff the loot a little bit more, make it easier to get, and then focus on other things.
Okay.
In my opinion.
It's a solid opinion. Okay. Vincent?
I feel like if it's just like the roles we have now as the gems, like max HP, physical power, that'd be kind of boring. But if they had like like poison damage or something cool in the gems, I think that'll be really fun. But if it's just now, then it's kind of like whatever.
Fair.
Kind of sounds like making a kit would take a really long time. Like if you have 4 sockets on a legendary, you got 4 legendaries, suddenly you're making 16 decisions to equip 4 pieces of gear. Maybe. It all depends on implementation, I think.
Yeah, I feel like...
Yeah, I think...
Go for it, Jay.
I think if they changed it up and brought like elemental damage and stuff like that, like sure, maybe it would be interesting. But if they didn't, I don't see how it's any different than multi-classing, I'm gonna be honest. It's just you're giving people the chance to build however you want. It's just gonna devolve into the most meta degenerate shit all over again, right? Will it not?
I don't think it's as bad as multi-classing. Not even close, to be honest. But I didn't mean to say perks, by the way. That was a misspeak.
No, I know.
Just stats. Yeah, that was a misstep.
But for context, well, let's just give an example. You now find an item that has 3 agility on it with 3 slots, and you're gonna pick from 1% damage, 1 weapon damage, max health. You're just gonna lab craft everything.
Yeah, it takes away from the hype, like finding a really sick item. Yeah.
So it's just everyone's gonna build the exact same. Which is now we're multi-classing gear.
It is a valid concern. It's definitely a valid concern.
I guess I want to double down on what Promo just said. The RNG element, to me, the little slot machine that occurs whenever you open that chest is kind of what makes loot interesting, or at least the process of looting. Granted, I definitely don't loot chests anymore. After like 2 weeks into the wipe, you won't catch me opening a box unless it's golden.
Same. Or lines.
Will that change with this socketing system? Like, will I be more or less incentivized to open chests? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how that would change gearing.
I'm with you. I don't loot at all anymore. I just look for players and I kill them and I take what they've looted for me.
And when I'm looting, can I like yoink one of the gems out of somebody's kit on the ground?
That's a great question. We don't know yet. No.
Yeah, I know they didn't do this, but it would be very interesting. Like they could change it all, right? They could add like fire or frost or lightning damage or whatever. They could add ranged or physical damage and then just have fizz power if you want to have like both. You know, so they could potentially have like something on the table, but I'm just gonna be honest, I doubt it.
Yeah, I feel like it's too much, right? Like they would have to
Yeah.
add another vendor,
There's like a
right?
whole
Like
rework.
how are you gonna socket it? Like if you want to change out your gems, you would have to, there would be a vendor for that. And then while you just run around in the dungeon, you loot. Oh, nice! I got a red gem that gives me plus weapon damage, and then you're just running around looking for gems at that point.
Sure.
So
And speaking of Path of Exile too, one of the goals he says is we're trying to bring down the expensiveness of BIS items. In Path of Exile, the BIS gems are insanely expensive.
Right.
So it might just
Yeah, there's like
rearrange where the
To
price
be
is.
fair, there's
I'm
like
not
a
sure.
million items, right? In Poe, I've never played it, so I don't
Yeah,
know. But there's like
yeah.
a million items or something.
I
would
need the
imagine.
5 max HP gem up at 10k.
yeah,
There you
seems
go.
like
That's a
a
perfect
really
example.
big task. They should just be, pumping out other shit.
Hmm.
Definitely
I
more
would
value
agree
in
with-
new weapons, new spells,
I
and
would-
stuff.
I would agree with you. Just make it more loot, right? Just have it
Mhm.
have the rarities be juiced if they want to level it up. I think that was kind of their goal, right? That's why they bumped up the gear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I will say I ran some polls leading up to the podcast here in my Discord over the past couple days. And I asked people what they view as the most valuable type of new content to add to the game. And people said new perks, skills, and game systems above things like gear, classes, or maps. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's the right way to allocate the resources, looking at new perks and skills and like systems like arena, systems like questing, systems like that? Or would you rather see classes, maps, or gear?
I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it again. We need progression systems and we need fun loops to keep people excited about the class they're playing. We need subclassing. We need. I know some subclass Soma. Go ahead and call me that all day long. But I know in my heart that that's what the game needs, and I've asked for it so many times internally. But there's only so much I can do here in Arizona when they're making the game in Seoul, right? So. I've given my opinion on it, but we need progression systems. We need fun loops. We need shit to work towards, and we need variety. And I think if you can start with that, people will be hooked on that character progression, that class identity, playing every single class and like experimenting with tons of new different build varieties. That will reinvigorate people, and then everything else is bonus. But that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think armor overhaul is the last thing we need for the 12th time throughout the dark and darker history. I think that we just, like you said, new spells, new armors, new weapons, maybe rework melee combat. I don't know. The gem socket should definitely be at the bottom of the priority. Like reworking all the gear again just seems silly to me.
I can't argue with that.
Just
Especially
re-add
just like
plus
back
2
to
all and
back.
call it a day.
Yeah, Logan.
What's that, Euthafro? Sorry.
I just said re-add plus 2 all and call it a day. That's all we need.
What'd you say, Jay?
Oh, saying especially back to back, like doing a bunch of gear changes.
Yeah, I don't know. With the new sockets, are we just gonna get another wipe of balancing sockets now? You never know.
I don't know. It's a
We're
good- it's a
trying to
good
avoid
question.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Let's scrap the gem socketing for now. We'll revisit. I think the gear's good. I think they buffed the loot, and I think it's good.
I'm cool with trying it. You know, I'll hit you guys with the hot. I think they should have kept that gear patch that nobody likes. What was that, 69? Or is it 60?
No
69.
way.
You're wild.
I think they should have
Ain't
kept
no
it,
way.
and they should have changed the gear to not all be the same number. That's all.
To be fair, people would have felt way better about that patch if Barb didn't turn nuclear at the same time.
Sure.
Well, if you guys are interested in
Just to try
priorities
it.
and
Let me clarify. My bad.
fair. If you guys want to talk priorities and new systems, well, I got a great next question for you. Question: will fishing be added to the game? Answer: fishing is definitely in the plans. Unfortunately, it's a little low priority, but I have plans to move it up a bit. I mean,
Yes.
I just gotta say why. Just why?
Game saved. Thank God.
What are you even gonna fish up? Items? Fish?
That's a boot. Like
Am
who
I at
fucking
least
knows?
gonna like?
Some
Can you at least get
seaweed?
like the 1 ring or the 2 ring from WoW? You know, where it's got 2 wall. Something.
Oh, wait, the fishing achievement for the fish plaque in your
Oh,
housing.
holy
Yo,
crap!
Ken just said-
That's the
Shit.
one
Ken
I
just
sing
said
it to you.
fishing for gems. I kind of like that. Ken's on to something. Fishing
Ooh.
for gems.
A secret gem you could only get for fishing, 1 aquatic damage.
Holy shit!
Ken's on to something with that one. Okay. Interesting. I personally don't give a shit about fishing. In World of Warcraft, I played WoW religiously for years. It came out right as I was graduating high school. Damn, that was bad timing for me, let me tell you. I played a lot. When I joined the Air Force, I was either out drinking with my buddies, working, or playing WoW. I was obsessed. I never, ever, in years of raiding and playing the game, really ever fished once. I tried it maybe, but I never ever fished, didn't give a fuck about it. I barely even did any crafting. I just was trying to play the game. I thought crafting was the most boring shit in the world. I thought fishing was such a waste of time. I understand that some people like it, but I don't see, like, what is the draw of that? Like, I personally don't get it, but I'm a different kind of gamer than some folks. I get that. What's the draw?
I mean,
Peaceful.
in Sea of Thieves, there's something similar, where it's just achievement, and then you get like a sick ass title, and that like 0.1% of people have, and that's the motivation there. I fished for a long time in that game just for that.
Yeah, the only thing
Ain't
I would
bad.
do in terms of like crafting and professions and whatnot was just the gathering stuff. Like if I saw nodes and I knew I could just mine it quick and then sell it and flip it, or herbs or whatever, and then sell it on the auction house to make money, that sure I would do that. Definitely.
We need that.
Yeah,
We need a mining skill.
yeah, I would definitely do something like that. Just
And
because it's
dwarf.
money. Like if you're killing a mob and you see a node next to you, you have a pickaxe, like just, and you know it's going to equal gold, you might as well do it, right? But to go like into Stormwind and sit there fucking clanking away watching a bar fill up over and over again, like, dude, fucking put a bullet in me. I cannot sit through that. Sure, I think it's casual to do that.
You've clearly
I'm the
never
one that's
crafted-
not casual because I'm out there fucking killing mobs and raiding and PvPing. It's the opposite of casual in my opinion.
You've clearly never crafted 100 sappers, which takes approximately 45 minutes, by the way.
I have
in case
not.
you're wondering.
I have not.
They can make it cool, like in Rust, if you fish. Most of the time, you're just getting fish that gives you like HP and stuff. But you could also fish out a blue card and do oil rig with. So like they can add something cool like that, or like fishing for fish, and then snag me a golden key. Who dropped this in here? You know, like pretty cool.
I think questions like these speak more to just how diverse the player base of Dark and Darker is. There are people that are super into sweaty trios PvP. There's people that are into just role playing and normals. There are people that want to sit there and fish or smack rocks and extract whatever they find. You know, like Dark and Darker attracts a really wide player base, and I think it just points to like how difficult it is to please everybody, and we're not going to be able to please everybody. But if Iron Mace is smart and tactful, they're going to be able to find something to keep each of those different player bases or portions of the player base interested. And I think for Iron Mace to like understand who is playing the game and why is like really important. And so I'm glad SDF like took the time to answer this, even if it's sort of a goofy question.
Yeah, fair. I
What
mean,
if they added other professions too, like leather working? You could skin up a wolf or a cockatrice, or
Wood
alchemy,
chopping.
making potions, being able to craft better potions.
like I know that I'm dogging
Oh,
on.
it's going to be a quest. I already know.
Yeah, I know I'm dogging on
Fish up
crafting
5
and
bass.
I'm dogging on crafting and fishing, but I also know that I'm in the minority and that lots of people like that kind of stuff. I do think it's actually good for the game. So I just want to say that, by the way. I don't have to like everything in Dark and Darker, right? People don't have to like every facet of a game. It still is a good thing for the game. So if people want to fish in the dungeon, I think that's good. I hope that they get their wish. Okay, so let's see here. All right. Question. All the reasons why the runes were sent for revision are still in the game? That's an interesting question.
Now we're getting to the real one.
That's a question? Okay. We're aware of this issue and hope the continuous dungeon, the new feature described earlier, will address it. All right. We'll see. Do you think we can get at least a glimpse of the work in progress Sorc this year? For sure. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see soon. I mean,
Wait, this year?
this year it's only, how many days are left in the year? Like 6 weeks, something like that. So yeah, we'll we'll be seeing it soon.
Is a glimpse and tell like just showing off what it does, or like the actual class?
That's a good question, Vincent.
Is it like? Is it gonna be like the trailer 2 hours before wipe comes out?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Motherfuckers.
Hey, I wanted that content wipe trailer to come out way before then, but I'm not the final decision maker on anything ever. So, yeah, I wish that trailer would have come out a week before or more.
Well, speaking of, do you have plans to do like a teaser season for next wipe? Should we expect to get like, you know, another trailer or like maybe like a screenshot here and there to just like build hype and whatnot?
Curious question. I guess we'll
Because-
we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think I think about this a lot. Like I came from Path of Exile before playing Dark and Darker, and one of the things they do I think better than any other wipe based game is like capitalizing on the new content they make each season, packaging it up and like marketing it well, including like the teasers leading up to the big launch trailer and having it like well timed before the season start to like circulate on social media. And like Jay watches the league trailer on stream and everyone's getting hyped. And then when the season drops, it's like it's like madness. You know, people take off work. They
Yeah.
set aside as much time as they can to just full goblin mode that shit. I would love if Dark
Yes.
and Darker were to do something like that.
Okay, so what you're referring to is content marketing, and it's a super important bucket in the marketing sphere. I am a huge proponent of content marketing. I think it's super important, and I have been pushing for content marketing in Dark and Darker before I even worked there. I think influencer marketing, paid media, traditional advertising, and content marketing are a trifecta that you have to work in tandem with. When I joined Iron Mace, I thought that I was going to have some autonomy to start making decisions, and that I was going to be able to really hit the ground running, but that was not the case. What really happened was I found out the SDF is the final decision maker in a lot of stuff, which has been talked about before, and he freely admits. And what my initial tasks were at Iron Mace were actually just teaching him about marketing and why we should do certain things. And I was not able to make any decisions. But things are changing, because over these months I have been teaching SDF about stuff, showing him the ropes on certain things, walking him through certain things. He's an engineer, you know, he's not a marketer. So I totally understand that he wants to understand something before he spends money on it or pulls a trigger on something. So content marketing, like I said, super important. Something that I believe is very important for a video game, especially, is something that I finally have been able to pull a trigger on. And I hired someone somewhat recently at Iron Mace, and he goes by the name of Lego Time Bomb. Do you guys know Lego Time Bomb on YouTube?
Yes, he's sick. I love him.
Yes.
He makes really, really sick shorts.
Yes, he does. So Lego Time Bomb is
Wait,
super
talking
awesome.
about the animator guy?
Yeah, he makes,
That
like the
cinematic
3D
ass
cinematic.
videos? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
guy's a
so
Yeah,
legend.
Iron Mace is like a flanged mace coming out of a cleric's body or something like that.
he does all kinds of cool stuff. I highly recommend you Google Lego Time Bomb and watch his Dark and Darker videos. He's really, really talented. And I've been talking with him for a while. Odin and I have. He and Odin are the guys that did the last wipe trailer for Ruins. It was pretty much just as good as the professional trailer that we built for the Steam and Epic Games store release, right? Absolutely,
Wait, can I throw one out.
yeah, absolutely amazing work. So Lego
Shout
Time
out my
Bomb.
boy Retro Rad as well. Sorry,
Okay, all right, Retro Rad.
He's also good.
Retro Rad. He does like the, what is that called?
The animated
Animatronics
stuff,
or whatever.
Yeah, he's amazing. I'm subbed to that guy
had to
as
throw
well.
him out there while we're saying.
No, he's really, really good, really talented. I watch all of his videos, even like the Rocket League stuff, and not even Dark and Darker related. But I have been working with Odin and Lego Time Bomb to build out a content marketing plan, because, like I said, it's super important, and I finally have found the right editor and the right guy for it that's passionate about the game and that it has the talent to do it. So, yes, that kind of stuff is coming. I can't really say much more than that, but yeah, absolutely. That was a super long-winded response. Sorry.
That actually makes me so happy, because for me, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, especially with, again, there's been some vocal people about disliking this current wipe or wherever the game is at. What's gonna make me most optimistic is things like that, and seeing trends towards like that. To me, that's something that's going to bring players back and attract new players at the same time. Like that's exactly what we need. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, totally agree. Absolutely. It's going to help with player retention. It's going to help with new player discovery. It's going to help with just generating hype. It's going to help with earned media through Reddit posts and social media posts and people reacting to stuff on YouTube and across the board. It's just a smart thing to do. Jay, you all right? You coughing right now? You globbing?
That's all right. That's what I'm going on.
You globbing, bro? It's all good.
Never.
Titanium.
Glonky,
Glonky. Glonk. Dude, that guy killed his mom.
What?
What's up, bro?
All right.
The Glonky guy. He murdered his mother. Oh, I'm feeling extra glonky. That guy? Yeah, he turned out to be a killer.
All right.
Yeah, just fun fact. Anyway, let's get back to the... I'm not
Moving
kidding,
on.
by the way. That is a real thing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, I know way too much about internet history. Let's see. Do you think we can at least get a... Oh, I already read that. Question. Will the game add the ability to enchant weapons or equipment? Answer. I'm a big fan of these features myself. However, I do have a concern that with the current structure of items being easily lost, too much investment in items can lead to a sense of loss and stress for players. However, I'm hopeful that the socket system will play a role in this. Yeah, can you imagine like you spend a bunch of resources and time enchanting your sword and you just get fucking owned in the next match? You just lose everything? I think people will be pretty pissed.
It's the
gonna be a
beauty of Dark and
disaster.
Darker, though. Isn't it?
I totally, yeah. I think a lot.
that-
That's part of it.
That risk, that moment where you're like, holy shit, if I lost this kid, I'm down like 6 hours of progress.
Yep. Good for arena though. Good for arena
yeah.
kick creation, but yeah, the general player that's not in arena, yeah, that's I don't know. It's a risk. It's a time risk. All right. Let's see here. Here we go. Question. I suggest the introduction of an additional arena stash to facilitate better organization of arena gear. Answer. We're currently working on bringing this functionality to Squire. Bam. Gotta love it. Question. Is there by any chance bosses being worked on for trios because most bosses, when two people are in the arena, flip out? Amron Burgundy? That's a weird
That's
question.
like one boss. Right.
I don't even... The answer is I'm experiencing similar issues with party play, so I'd like to make some tweaks, but alas, it's not a main focus yet. I'll talk to Monster Guy about it. There's more than one Monster Guy now, by the way. I met all four of them. Yeah, there's 4 people now. That's just an odd question. Jay, decipher that mess.
I'm 10-second Timmy, bro. You gotta hit me again.
The question that I just asked. Do you want me to read it again, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
read it again for you. All right, globber.
I heard it. I thought about it. Gone. Oh, the boss is bouncing around?
All right, the question, Mr. Stoney, is there by any chance bosses being worked on for trios because most bosses, when 2 people...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Stony baloney.
does that mean?
what about it? That's
Yeah.
only on like Troll and Spectral Knight. Right.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it.
I think it's just those 2. Is there anything?
Yeah, it's just annoying. I mean, it's nothing really about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope that's not a focus whatsoever. That'll have to come later.
Yeah.
Like, please don't spend time on that. Okay, let's see. The community all believes you have a great game. Have you put any thought into adding more content instead of trying to tweak the numbers every few weeks? Any thought into making this to be more of a PvE game rather than just PvP spawn rushing? Maybe creating randomized modules? Answer. We've gotten quite a few requests like this. We wanted to talk a little bit more about it. I understand that it's easy for a lot of people to think like this because when you look at the content of the hotfix, it mostly is just balance changes. We're a 100-person company, but we only have about 60 actual game devs. This is because we have to juggle legal, PR, marketing, customer service, community management, anti-cheat support, and a lot of other things at the same time. And 97% of our developers are actually focused on content development. Unfortunately, new content takes time to develop. We're still a growing company. So we spend our time training new members and building a solid pipeline for the team. I believe we'll get to a good point soon, and I'm expecting our productivity to increase significantly then. And I don't believe the game will be a PvE-only game, but I do believe there must be a good balance between PvE and PvP. We haven't invested much in PvE yet, so we will try to make it better in the future. Okay, Vincennt, if there was a PvE-only map, would you be pissed or would you be down?
Well, it's if the PvP is gonna be hard and you have to think about it and like build builds against certain enemy types, that'd be cool. But if it's just what it is now, then I'm play it.
Not
Probably.
worth it at that point.
Yeah, but there's like a cool cool assortment of enemies. You actually have to put into thought. Like maybe you have to take, I don't know, magical lock or slow, or think about it more.
Hmm.
Then maybe.
Utilize more of the kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jay, you said it a while back, but what if you could like reset perks and skills in between floors, so that if you're in a layer where there's no players, you can just go full PvE mode to optimize your boss run or something like that. I think that'd be great, but I also don't think it's going to matter anymore if you can instantly just go up and down. Like, there's no when are you going to have the chance?
About it.
Yeah.
Three of us were there. Me, Vincennt, Promoz, at least for a little bit when we were doing the Wyvern raids. I reference that a lot because it was like the only time I've ever built PvE, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like to be able to bust that out. It was a cool experience. I don't know if they should just expand on that and go full PvE, but I don't necessarily hate it personally. I get the appeal. There's like a lot of appeal to this. People want to just group up with their friends and clear it or whatever if that's what they fuck with. So I get it, not having to worry about other players.
We already have that. Just queue up ice caverns. PvE
Yeah,
No
that's what it feels like.
No need to expand.
That's where you grind AP, right? You just go in the ice caves. If you want a PvE experience, that's true. You ain't wrong about it.
I think that's more it. If they were gonna go that route, they should totally hit it with like the arena angle, like make it like a 1 day or 2 day weekend thing or whatever. Make it some raids. We talked about raids before.
We need raids.
Yeah, raids.
Yeah, we need more wipe events. Like end of wipe, maybe mid wipe. Set up like a 6-man raid or something, 8-man raid, and like a boss pops up or something. I don't know. And we need people more engaged throughout the wipe because we've hit that part right now in the wipe where it's just there's nothing left to do, and the end of wipe is still not even in sight. There's nothing left to do in the game. But if they added events, they give people a reason to play the game.
Fair assessment.
Like, what if the Wraith dropped artifacts or something like that? Or like a guaranteed artifact drop from the boss if you go down? I think that would be really cool.
For an end of wipe event, I think that'd be sick. And I think that kind of stuff is good for the game overall.
It gets people excited again.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like we were just talking about earlier.
Totally. All right, what is the next question? Let's see here. Question: what do you think about the low online players in the game at the moment? Do you expect such an outcome, or is it a surprise? Answer: I'm not sure if this will help, but as always, I'll just give you the straight answer. We first started looking for investors to fund this game. We were targeting 3,000 plus concurrent users. We have received more love from our players than we could have ever hoped for, and this has been an unbelievable time for us. We realize that the number of players is currently decreasing, and our goal is to get more players to 11-player game, so that we can fulfill the promise to our players of a great game that will be around for a long time. Fair, yeah. Question: new maps, classes, gear, monsters, when? Soon TM. Pulling out of the old Blizzard cap there. Question: can we please have custom arena maps that are more balanced for all classes? Also, an arena leaderboard adjustment of points /lost would be great. Answer: as for classes, we'll be making some major adjustments once we've rebalanced items. Okay. Before that happens, however, we're looking to tweak the current balance a bit more to ensure that different classes are able to compete in general. All right. Is there any plans to improve the new player experience? All right, here's a good answer. We have created a dungeon called Sewer, and it will likely be the first dedicated dungeon for new players. We haven't yet decided when and in what form we will launch this, but we will continue to focus on onboarding new players. Gentlemen, Little Timmy Dungeon in the Sewer. Good for the game,
Wait,
yay or nay?
It's real. I thought it was a meme. What the hell?
It's real. What do you think?
Great.
Fantastic.
Agreed.
I think if they were going to do something that was more of a PvE focused experience, if there's going to be a PvE map, make it the new player experience map.
For sure.
So if you're going to do it, this one, I think, is when you would do it.
100% agree. Yep.
Okay. I also think, I again, like I was was asking people in my Discord. I found a new player talking about his experience and how much he hated ruins because a barb was at his spawn in the first 2 minutes of every single round. And it got me thinking that like the spawn rushing issue disproportionately affects newer players versus older ones or more veteran players, because the veteran players are the ones doing the spawn rushing. They want that instant PvP. The new players are just trying to get their 5 bandages that are looted and turn them into the squire or whatever, get their quest done.
Surgeon.
So having a map that's kind of designed that way from the beginning in a way that is more catered to new players, I think could go a long way for sure.
I just want to know if I can queue up on the sewers.
Of course. I think that Euthafro's on point. If they're going to do a PvE only mode, now's the chance with sewers. If you're going to learn the game, imagine you start at one end of a sewer tunnel and there's one other brand new Timmy on the other side, and you slowly work your way, learning the game, to the final sewer chamber, and you have to succeed in killing the other Timmy to get out of the sewers, and if you don't, you restart. And you endlessly are walking through shit water before you finally get lucky enough to get that final kill. Can you imagine
Throw 'em in
that?
jail in the sewers, hell yeah.
Just stuck in the sewers until you murder another human being. Man, I hope that's not gonna happen. Let's be real here. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but holy shit, that'd be hilarious. You gotta get to the gauntlet, Tim. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the next question. Sewer gulag. Wow. Okay, let's see. Question: when are quivers coming out? This is basically a meme, and I want it to, but the person who should be working on it is currently focused on more important things. So it's being put on hold for a while. Whenever that developer has time, it will be a priority. Well, rip quivers. Sorry, folks.
Could have just said never.
Question: are we going to get an F cancel on drinking potions like we have with bandages? I sometimes want to drink a potion and cancel, but our characters can't drink half of it and cancel it, so I decided to leave it as is. Fair. Oh, God. Question: are there any plans to add Hawk Tua, funniest meme of the year, to the game?
Terrible.
Answer: I just looked up this meme because you told me. Haha, very funny. I will think about it. If I could Hawk Tua on a guy I just killed in the dungeons and spit on that thing, I feel like
I might actually
potentially do that. I feel like I might be down.
Need that.
Don't you want to spit on that thing, Jay?
Don't need that.
Need it.
No,
I'm
we
already
do not
getting
need
farted
it.
on
Waiting
in
on
every
that.
arena game. It's
No
whatever at this
need.
point.
Yeah, you're already getting farted and spit it on. It's like, what else
Yeah.
you need?
I could think of a couple things. Okay. Let's continue on. That got weird. All
This is why
right.
you're the marketing guy.
Absolutely, sir. Damn straight. All right. Question: has the team ever considered non-instanced housing? Meaning a housing area that people could place houses down and that would exist in an overworld like the outside of the new Gathering Hall Tavern in the Social Hub.
What game is that guy playing?
Answer: I'm a big fan of UO, Ultima Online, especially T2A, and this is my dream. However, I will try to find a way to make it work with this game. Damn. All right. There you go.
I think that would be so sick. It would become my sole reason to play this game.
It sounds cool.
Promise.
I'm trying to hold down the block though. You know,
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Got my
like
manor
giveth thy
on the corner.
taxeth on my block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Vincent's in. Vincent, you down with this?
Oh, yeah.
I know you're excited.
100%.
You gonna run the town?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're a warden, brother. You're sheriff. Sheriff Vincent.
We need guilds.
Wait, sorry?
I think this game needs guilds. 'Cause it would-
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
We
yes.
need guilds, and then we need to delete solos.
Whoa,
Delete
what are you
solos.
trying to slide in there?
Let me just slip that in.
Solos is I'm kind of with you on it.
Mhm.
I think you
I
know
think
what's the most fun in the
solos
game
is
is
the-
duos.
Yeah, duos.
Duos is the
You
most
should
fun.
just delete a whole game mode.
It has to be
If
done.
you had enough social things like guilds and like people
Exactly.
helping out each other, then maybe solos could go, but not right now.
If
It
you
never
have
will.
guilds,
no.
you'll never have an issue finding people to play with, and then you'll play like the best version of the game because solos is just bad.
Just delete the game at that
Remember
point.
the riot when they hinted at deleting duos? It'll be twice as bad if they hint at
Yeah, it
deleting
would've been
solos.
awesome.
Yeah, we
Right.
say the
10
same
times
thing.
as bad.
Say bye-bye to
Yeah.
40% of the player base. Say bye-bye. All right. See ya.
Look, I don't
Need new
like
players.
solos, but it would be a massive mistake to get rid of solos. It would be shooting yourself in the foot as a game dev.
As the game is right now. Maybe
Okay.
things could change.
All right, Vincent. Okay.
It's
No,
that
but
same
think about
concept. When people have something and you take it away, it's way worse than if they never
Wow.
had it.
That's
It's way
precisely
worse.
correct.
I mean, they already
Yeah.
like did that
Pandora's
so many
box
times.
is open.
Like we're probably numb to it by now.
No, but new players have like such a bad experience though because they think that's what the game is like, but it's not like that at all. It's not just one big. Oh, I queued into a barbarian as I don't know, a rogue, and I just immediately lose, or else I have to just play beyond perfect. And then they
play
play
Ranger, bro.
solos, and they're okay. There we go. Coming from the
Go
wizard
tell
guy.
him, Vincent. And tell him, Vincent. I'm pretty sure every time I see like Vincent does some of the nastiest plays. Go ahead, and tell him.
Bro.
You play Ranger
busted,
too.
Man. Ranger's just
And
busted.
see.
Yeah, Ranger's a little strong. So what? Let us have our way, man.
You guys had plenty of moments in the sun as being OP classes throughout the history of this game. Let's just be honest about that.
Not the last 3 wipes.
Look, all I'm gonna
Maybe
say,
back
when the class is considered bad and you still do good, it is cooler. I said it.
True.
True.
I agree.
Nerf Ranger. That's cool again.
All right. Let's see your next question. Why not squish the gear gap even more? Answer. I think this is a good opportunity to share my thoughts on the gear gap. It's a long answer. As I mentioned earlier, I initiated direction towards pursuing large gear gaps because I think it gives players great satisfaction and is one of the endgame goals. And it actually exists in our game. Nothing has changed, excuse me, in that regard. I need water, 1 second. Sorry about that. Nothing has changed in that regard, but we found some problems while actually executing this vision. The excessive time consumption of random modifiers mentioned earlier combined with the large gear gaps made the game environment for mid-low level players unfavorable and made them lose hope in competing. Okay. Many people wanted to compete in a fair environment but didn't have much time to invest, so we created gear-based matchmaking to give them hope and split them up. This is similar to how we created solo duo queues to allow players who have difficulty finding players to trio with to compete fairly. This combined with the many dungeon themes, anti-teaming, anti-sniping pools, etc., created a lot of matchmaking pools that ended up splitting the player base too much. I believe that the most enjoyable point of this game comes from the unexpected situations that come from various situations within the dungeon. And for that, there must be many players with various goals inside the dungeon. And I think this is one of the most important factors in the matching quality. Due to the issues mentioned above, we experienced for a long time that the matching quality is severely reduced in certain regions or during downtime when there are relatively few players. And we want to improve it, and as a start, we are trying to reduce the gear gap to reduce the number of gear-based matchmaking pools. However, I understand that there are various ways to stick to the original vision other than reducing the gear gap, which is the direction that current high-level players dislike. Initially, we wanted to make it easier and faster for players to escape so they can achieve more success in the game even with the gear gap, and have hoped to catch up to the high-level players. However, this was not actually tested in the live server because the dungeon with fewer players became a dungeon that was not fun for anyone. Continuous dungeon will help players escape easily, and other players will fill the spots of players who escaped. Oh, keeping player density inside the dungeon at a fluctuating level. So maybe we were onto something earlier, Euthafro. This is the first I've been able to read the full thing. And maybe the system works as well as we expect. We can keep the gear gap a little wider. Okay. Any opinions on that, gentlemen? If not, it's okay. We can move on.
Not really.
I don't think gear gap is like. I mean, in certain classes, it definitely is real, but there's definitely a skill diff, in my opinion. Because I mean, there's been so many videos of people doing fist to bis runs, and they're playing with items that they found in the first 4 chests, and they end up killing somebody with full bis gear, just because they're better at the game. So like if gear gap was real, they would have 0 chance at ever killing these players. But I see it every day.
All right. Next question. Will the sorcerer and wizard share certain spells?
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Sure.
Maybe we should talk more about the filling players who have already left portion of that last
Sure.
response.
Yeah. Good call.
Because that to me is, I didn't even notice that the first time I read this.
Yes, that's a good call. So you were mentioning that earlier, like you actually proposed that question, Euthafro. It sounds like that's the plan. So
Well, I meant like between layers. This almost seems like they're just gonna come back on the ruins. No, like another players will fill the spots of players who have already escaped.
see, it's
I mean,
it's
maybe they
confusing.
mean filling as you go down, but to me that
classic.
means like someone's gonna spawn in like 2 minutes into a raid, maybe.
That means they're hitting it like the cycle, where the dungeon's always up. And you're just constantly loading into it. Right?
I never played the cycle, but how does it? Did you like it in that game? Do you think it was good, or were there issues?
I hated the cycle, so no.
I didn't like the cycle either.
But I didn't hate it because of that. I hated it because the gameplay wasn't for me.
Yeah, Cycle Frontier was not it.
Also, yeah, and the servers are offline, so
Yeah. There
probably
you go.
shouldn't draw inspiration from that one.
I mean, I can't say I would mind loading in and then someone cleared all the mobs for me already. That sounds kind of cool. 'Cause I don't like.
There's no
clearing
way
mobs.
they do that. It doesn't work like that, yeah, because the mobs that have to respawn and stuff.
I
Like,
do
can do
mind
that.
spawning, and there's someone right next to me waiting for me to spawn.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
good old Barb.
There's so
Little
many
Barbie
issues that
waiting
could
for
pop
ya.
up. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to see because it's hard to decipher what he means.
I can't be right.
Yeah, it's hard to decipher what he means by that. I think we just gotta see how it's implemented. It's either gonna
Just
suck
die,
or
keep
not.
back, just rat rogue and just try to loot your kid back, or something like that, or druid.
Yeah. They're just gonna scab in,
Oh, the-
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goblin merchant is like if your corpse stays around for a while, people spawn in. There's more people that could loot it. You might get dungeon recovery might take forever. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you guys think of dungeon recovery?
Mm,
Good and bad. I don't like the situations where you're like you just know like, well, I died, but there's no consequences because I know I'm the last guy or something. To
Hmm.
me, I think the stakes are what make Dark and Darker exciting. And when you take that stake away, and when you take that risk away, you lose something.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the fence though. So I mean,
Like when I
I've seen a
die to
lot-
mobs like a dumbass, I should be punished.
Yeah. I've seen a lot in trios that if, say, you're fighting a team and you kill two and the third one gets out, and then you end up getting third party, the last alive guy will just come back and just fight to the death, and just make sure that the guys that just killed your team don't hit a blue portal, so that everyone just dies, and then you get your gear back from the goblin. That's been like a common practice in trios.
and dropping your gear.
Yeah, running away and like stashing your teammate's gear on a body or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it is good, when you're not looting these Timmies and they get their stuff back. But I don't even think the Timmies are buying their stuff back from the Goblin, to be honest. Like, the Goblin's probably charging more than what they paid for.
True.
True.
That's so sad. Funny though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really good for Timmy's. I think it's kind of cringe though, because sometimes we'll be like looting bodies, one of us is dead, and we're like, oh, we'll just leave his kit because he'll get it back in 5 minutes when we
Yeah.
leave. It's just not the same for sure. Really good for new players, but maybe it just shouldn't be in High Roller. Thoughts?
Be fine with that.
Or you could pay to
Or-
ensure. I think I would rather. I guess you're technically doing the same. Yeah, I don't know.
Or just the old system back where it's a chance. You don't know what you're going to get back.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's better than for sure getting everything back.
I'd say it's a
Or-
net positive though. Still, like we are voicing some complaints, but I think it's a net positive.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy when someone skips over my body and I get my full kit back. Like that's
Yeah.
definitely a good feeling. But I don't
Or
know.
when you're playing something off meta and you just know for a fact no one is ever going to take my legendary halberd out of the dungeon, I'm always getting that
Yeah.
shit back no matter what. It's nice.
I also see a lot of people gearing up like not properly for their class. So then they die, they don't get looted, they get the same like wrong gear back, and then they just keep running the same bad gear over and
Yeah.
over again. So
Fair enough. We got one question left, boys. Shall we?
Hit it.
All right. Will the Sork and Wizard share? Did I already ask this? Will the Sork and Wizard share certain spells? I didn't. No, I
we
didn't. Will the sorcerer and wizard share certain spells, and can we look forward to new spells for the wizard in the new season? Answer: the sorcerer will have his own spells based on the development so far. The sorcerer is probably going to be the class with the most spells, and I didn't forget about wizard. So this is what we were talking about pretty much in the beginning of the podcast. With the he's talked about combining what you're casting in the left hand with the right hand. There's going to be potentially lots of combinations, and the kit could be out of control. Do you think if Sorc has like 30 fucking spells and combos and shit, and it plays much differently than Wizard, that Wizard just fucked? Or will people still play Wizard? Based on what those spells are. Obviously you don't know yet, but or is that too soon to
It's
tell?
probably just over.
I mean, it's hard to say.
Over for Wizard.
Without
Like-
seeing what Sorc is like.
Yeah. Like, are they getting like
mean-
some sort of fireball or something similar? Or
Do they have the same utility as Wizard? Haste, invis,
I
and
mean,
stuff like that.
yeah, you're always gonna have Fire Master like anti-heal on Wizard. That source gets that as well. Just some
I will
util.
say, if it comes out and it's like so OP and it just makes it so that you would never want to play wizard, I think that's totally okay in the short term. Because if you're making a class that's like a strong spellcaster and it doesn't appeal to all the spellcasters and make them want to play it, that probably means that you messed something up, right? So I think if it comes out and it's super strong and all the wizards jump ship and then you don't see a wizard for like 2 months, I think that's fine, because then that means they're cooking. They're making something cool, fun, new, interesting, strong. And then if they got to tone it back later, they'll tone it back later. They have all the time in the world to do that.
I'm more of a fan
agree.
of buff instead of nerf personally, but so I hear you on that. But if something's
Well-
really fun, toning it down because it's too fun is awful. But I don't think that's what you're
Remember-
saying. It's not what you're saying, but
Remember when Bard first came out and it was like a criminally bad, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
they
yeah.
made it criminally OP?
Yeah.
I think it's way better for it to come out like Druid, where it's like low key insane. Like you give a modern Druid with the skills they have. Druid, when it first came out, they're wiping the entire dungeon every single raid. And I think it's better to have that be the case. And then as players increase their skill and as the cap of what's possible in that class that you actually will see in the dungeon goes up, you can then bring the class a little bit down in line. Because when something new comes out, if it's shit, no one's going to play it. And then what's the point?
you're right.
I'm not saying like I want it to be broken, but I'm saying like if you got to choose, or if you're like, I'm not sure, is this going to be too strong? Screw it, man. Make it too strong,
it-
and then we'll figure it out later.
Isn't that the Riot way when they drop a new champ? It's like
Yeah.
RP only. They make it OP, people buy it, and then they nerf it.
Yeah, it's
There's
kind
a
of
really way
gross.
to avoid that. A really easy way to avoid that. They need to rework how the test server works. Like I shouldn't have to get on the test server and grind 20, a whole week in order to test out a build that's not on the live servers.
You are 100% correct. I completely agree. I've talked about it many times. You need to have all crafting unlocked, tons of chests filled with gold. You need to be level 20. You
Just
need
make
access to
everything free.
everything. Yeah, make
Something,
everything
yeah.
free as well. Sure, that works too. That needs to happen, and it needs to be open up to anyone that's playing the game, not just hold
Yeah.
the line edition or
then
anything like that.
People can actually test the class at its highest potential. In BIS or
Yeah. Honestly, in Jay's chat, Killed My Life just said, why didn't anyone ask about the test server at SDF? Good question.
True.
Absolutely
It's
good
been-
question.
It's been asked plenty before.
It needs
Well, I
to be
think it's in-
asked
it's in the
again.
ending notes right here.
Is it? Oh, let's read the
Yeah,
ending
he
notes.
mentions it.
All right, let's read the ending notes. All right, I have not finished the Q&A. I didn't have a chance, so I don't know what was all in it. But here's the ending notes from Iron Mace. In addition, there are a few things I would like to talk about. Regarding the test server. There you go. Bam. I apologize for not actively utilizing the test server and providing tough patches to players so far. We realized that it was a bit difficult to get enough players on the test server, and it was especially difficult to test features that required a lot of players there. It is possible also satisfying Hold the Line Edition players. We would like to host the test server on a major platform like Epic or Steam so that all players with legendary status can access it. We will think deeply about how to do that. Finally, this game is still new to us and not easy to develop. We don't have a blueprint. We're making it ourselves. And sometimes I forget that I am a chimpanzee, but you kindly remind me. My team and I will continue to cook hard for the happiness and satisfaction of our players. I was wondering what the hell this was. We make mistakes sometimes, but I believe that even that is a process that helps us grow. Thank you for support as always. We love you. Aww. That was a solid Q&A. What do you guys think?
Solid.
It's good.
Solid.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Let's does anyone have any like final thoughts on the Q&A? Anything that stood out, anything that is burning inside that you got to release?
Really, yeah, I'm really glad they covered silver weapons. Glad we got that out the way.
I mean, someone asked about Cleric kills, and I never got answered.
Yeah.
I'm wondering.
True.
I mean, he basically
No.
said that they're aware that it's overpowered, especially with magical healing, and that they're working on it. So what else can you really say? So I in that regard, I kind of get it.
There was a lack of what's coming next wipe questions.
Yeah.
I guess that's whatever.
Yeah, but what is he really gonna say? He's not gonna like tease too much shit. It's gonna be very vague anyway. So.
Great.
Okay, so we've been going for an hour and 40 already. Damn. Let's go into Q&A for at least a little bit, and then I'm gonna go get dinner. I was thinking about getting Korean tonight in honor of Iron Mace. What do you guys think? Korean food? Yeah. Jay, you with me?
Can't go wrong.
Hell yeah, brother. Okay, chat. If you've been asking questions, I didn't see them because I wasn't paying attention to you really. So now's your chance to ask. We're not gonna go too long on it, but we will answer a few. When is the
One
PUBG?
horde mode.
Ugh. If that's coming anytime soon, that's a mistake. Let's work on the core game. When is the PUBG D&D mobile game coming out? I think Dad Mobile's already out, brother.
Great questions, chat.
It's already out.
I have,
Man.
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
How do you feel about server performance this wipe? Is it acceptable?
Horrible.
Have you noticed? Is it
Terrible.
It's
horrible?
just super laggy, right?
Horrible.
Dog shit.
I haven't been playing a ton, but every time
Well-
I do, I'm like, holy fuck, it's laggy.
Started
That has
off
been-
fine. It's now not fine.
Yeah, my experience has been very similar, especially when you're playing Warlock. You have hit scan spells that you gotta like predict, and I make videos all the time where I'm looking at a fight and I just get pissed because my crosshair is directly in the center of somebody's chest and nothing happens. Or other ones where I curse my teammate when they're like clearly off to the side and it doesn't make any sense. And like I don't really hear anyone talking about the servers because I think there's other stuff that it's like more easy to complain about, but I still would like to see some amount of performance addressed soon because it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like I said, it started off kind of crispy and fine, but as the wipe progressed, it's not up to par, in my
So
opinion.
everyone's complaining about Ranger, but I could legit make a 10-minute compilation montage video of my arrows just going straight through people, like just very blatantly going
Yep.
straight through them and no rigging.
Is that the next
So
Promoz video?
I'm not coping. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, you're not coping.
you're not
Just
coping at
Sometimes
all.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's
That's
going
real.
on.
Well, sometimes also you see it happen to you so often that when you actually miss, you just blame it because you've gotten used to the servers messing up, and then it tricks you into getting more upset than you even have to be.
Yeah, shots that I think I'm missing will hit. I was like, what is happening?
Low key, it has implications on balance too. Like, I would be so much more effective on my class if I could be consistently hitting the
Oh.
things that I should be hitting.
100%.
All right, I got another question here. What do you guys think about Fog of War on maps?
Love that. If they randomize it.
Yeah, if it's randomized, for sure.
Right. Yep. Okay.
It would actually be sick, I think.
Mhm.
What if they brought back spawn rooms around the map edges and they could make modules towards the center be higher value and ones on the edges lower value? What do you guys think about that? Do you guys miss the spawn rooms?
I don't really like spawning in the wisp place when there's like annoying
sucks.
mobs. And like GC, there was also places where you just instantly get bullied, but I think that's fixed now. So as long as that's not happening, I don't really care.
Right.
Same.
It was
I mean,
kind
now
of
that
fun
there's
though
no
doing the
zone-
spawn room fights though. Sorry, go ahead.
Now that there's no zone, people could just hide in there as well. It would be annoying.
True.
Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Asmon Glitch just said, should they bring back the circle? No. Absolutely fucking not.
I could see it being an end wipe event or something.
End of wipe event, yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
End of wipe event, yes, but not permanently.
Why did they bring back mobs in arena?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Does anyone know? Like everyone was so hyped, like yes, finally they removed it. Next hotfix. Yeah, by the way, we added that back. What's going on?
With the rating, they added the mobs
Yeah.
and the rating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't the mobs stay dead though between rounds?
No, they
Except
respawn.
on the
Yeah.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, the
I
tiebreaker.
think they
the most
say dead,
important
don't
round.
they?
Nope. If
They
it's
respawn in
2-2,
the
they
most
all
important
respawn.
round.
Interesting.
I hot take. I don't mind the mobs, but I play Torture Mastery Warlock, so it's just pure
Yeah.
self-service.
Yeah.
Small
Is what
mobs
it
would be
is.
fine, but why do we have Centaur and Yeti?
Not
It's
cool. It's not cool. I know. Not cool at all to have that kind of shit in the arena. I agree. If it's just like little base mobs that you're trying to
Yeah, I think that'd
dodge
be
or that
fine.
you're using, I'm cool with that. But like opening your fucking spawn door in arena and you're met with a goddamn berserker and a centaur is just not fun. Especially if the guys on the other side are not also dealing with that same challenge.
What's weird to me is it feels like they added him back almost because you were just getting spammed by longbows as soon as you came out of spawn. But so that happens instead of just happening on the first round, it just happens on the second round instead because the mobs are all dead. So like it doesn't really change that much except the tiebreaker round for me, where it's like you might just get cheesed by the spawn.
Just keep it like some goblins and kobolds around. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
like me would be happy. I have my blood bags, but they don't
Yeah.
drastically change the round sometimes.
Yeah.
So what happened to Coliseum? Like, can we talk about that?
It's gone.
Get some more awareness for Coliseum. The best map in the game.
True.
I miss it. Yeah, I miss it too. It was fun.
We've been
I
on
don't
the same
know where it's at.
2 Crypts maps for a while now.
Do you think it was a statics thing? Like they couldn't figure out where to put the statics when like so many modules were combined into one big one, or maybe
They
it
had
was
the
in
red
preparation.
statics.
I
Just down
asked
below,
SDF. He said it was to make it so new players picked up the game easier. I said just to put it in High Roller then, because
But that's like the
other
easiest.
map.
That's arguably the easiest map out of like all the module combinations. No,
Yeah, because all the PvP's there. You just don't go there.
everything's in the middle. You just go to the middle, one big circle.
I don't know about that.
I feel like it's noob friendly, if anything.
I remember struggling most on that map when I was learning High Roller, but that module didn't exist in normals back then, and also gear gap was like astronomically larger, I think, back then than it is now. So
Oh yeah,
I'm not
back
sure.
then when you had people at the top with the longbow with the max added damage, yeah, that was
Plus 3 all, 3 weapon, 3 true.
Yeah.
just one tapping you from the top.
Vincent, I got a question for you. Who's in your bed right now? Is that a waifu body pillow or is that a roommate? Looks like someone's in your bed.
There's no one in bed.
Damn, that looked weird. Did you guys see a body in there too? Looked like
I saw it.
I saw it,
I
bro.
don't want to say anything. I was waiting for the cops to show up.
Nice
That's some clean-
nice disappearing act. Nice job. Okay. Nice. Just had to ask. Okay. I thought we had another podcast guest on. Okay, let's an hour and 48 in. Why don't we take like 2 or 3 more? And then I'm so fucking hungry. I gotta go eat. Let's see here. Where are you from, Vincent, by the way? What's your accent?
Japan.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I was just there for the first time. It's very fun there. It's a good time. I was in Tokyo for a couple of weeks and it was cool.
Country.
Yeah, it is a good country. Let's see here. You guys have any questions in your chats? Bam, bring it.
Do you think them randomizing the maps is going to help a third party or no?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll slow people down.
Probably.
It'll
Unless
slow
you're
people down.
streaming.
That's any video game. Yeah.
I honestly think if they added Fog of War, it would probably fix everything with the randomizer.
Yeah.
Well, I think we also need to acknowledge that people are still abusing the frame drop equals players over there thing. That's still
Didn't they
exists.
say they fixed that before?
Yeah. Like at
That's
least
cap.
now you're not sure if it's the slimes 2 modules away or if it's another team, but
Slime.
chances are it's somebody.
What's up with the slimes?
They're so annoying. They're
Like,
annoying. You
they-
lag next to them. I
I get
can't
like
stand
10
them.
FPS.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And they don't make really any noise. Is there an audio issue with them? Because I will look around, I will see nothing. I will fight a skeleton really fast, kill it in 2 seconds, and I turn around and a fucking slime is slapping me in the chin. Like, where the fuck did
they're-
it come from? No
they're really
audio at
quiet.
all. Yeah. Pretty annoying. Anyway.
Imagine trying to find a room for a quest at the random map in Fog of War. Yeah, but that brings like some adventure back, right?
Yes.
When we're
exactly.
saying fog of war, do you mean like in the map, like on your map, or like in game? There's like an effect.
So I think
No, you'd have to like discover the map essentially.
Unlock
Okay,
it.
so just
Yeah.
the
Right.
map.
if
Yeah.
the modules are randomized, then yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
I mean, then you got to actually delve through the dungeon to find what you're
Exactly.
looking for.
yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah,
I
of
like that.
course. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Because like if the modules are randomized, but you can see the full map, then like kind of
Then there's no point. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I hope they consider it. Okay, a couple more. Euthafro, you got anything in your chat? Promos, Vincent?
I guess I got the obligatory movement skill for every class question. If you guys, we talked about Ranger and how backstep is fun. Are we missing an opportunity adding more movement abilities to other classes? I've seen people say add a sprint, add like a dash. Is it valuable, and what would you add?
I think I add more like a kick and a almost strike. To,
Like a
stun
shove or
people.
something.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
because movement might be like kind of tough to add, but what if you just press like R or something and you punch them? They're stunned
And
for a
then
bit.
Iron Will just makes it so that the barb doesn't even get phased.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Zelm said a feint. Absolutely not. A feint would, man, so many people would leave the game within 2 weeks if a feint was introduced. If this became
Like-
Mordhau, GG. I mean, look at the Mordhau player count. It's like that for a reason. Because the gods take over the world and all the mortals leave because they're dead. And it's just not a fun experience. Unless you're the god that knows how to feint really well and space really well and utilize that movement and spacing really well. But a feint, man. Do you guys think a feint would be good for the game? Because I absolutely do not.
Nope.
No. I think
I
an
would
alternate attack
prefer-
would be like you start with the third swing instead of the first.
Like, we kind of already have stuff like that in the game right now. Like, if you're really sweating, you're taking a lantern with you so you can instantly quick switch to your big two-handed weapon and swing it immediately. You're desync blocking people, you're bunny hopping on casting classes. We kind of have mechanics like that. It's just they're not intended.
What are they adding?
Yeah.
A weapon collision, or like chambering, but not chambering.
Not with the servers right now. Please no.
Yeah, I'm thinking like
true.
I feel like blocking would be so much more rewarding, and you could focus way more on like that being the interesting thing about fighter instead of sprint, or just like using all the weapons that don't have a sour spot and like hard stat checking people. Like, you could focus on blocking being the fighter thing if the servers were a little better too.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, let's go with one more and let's make it good. Why? Fainting is fine. It's not like there are timed blocks in the game. It's not good. Go play Mordhau. Tell me what you think about it later. I do like
How
go for it.
How about third and fourth parties? Are we doing anything right now to fix that? What could we do? I think we already threw out the map randomization helping to reduce, and like Fog of War kind of helping to reduce third parties a bit. Is that enough? Should we be doing more? Is there anything that can be done?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
I don't
Not
think you
gonna
can do
lie.
much about it except lower TTK, but like not that good.
I saw also somebody throw out an idea for a new item that could help to maybe address spell casting in a third party meta, and that's a surge kit for spells. What do you guys think
Yeah.
about that? Like spell
We mentioned
recovery.
that last
that is.
episode. I don't think it's a terrible idea.
How long does it take to activate?
Make it longer than a surge.
30.
Fuck it.
Okay, 30 seconds. How long does it take to sit down and meditate and get all your spells back? Because you're just doing the same thing except you're standing up.
No, but like
yeah,
this
but
one,
you
can
can
like
walk
move.
around and stuff. Yeah.
Sure, you can walk a little bit. You're moving super slow.
You can't meditate with like a mob on you, but you could totally pop a surge with like even a handful of mobs on you.
I mean, my first thought is cleric. Like, we got to do something about cleric if we're gonna do that. But
Yeah. Yeah, they'd be expensive. There would be inventories that are half filled with them at all times. It'd become
So
a part of. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, how different is that from having clarity pots? They're old clarity pots, I guess, because the current ones are basically just a campfire.
well,
cost
that's why
more.
I don't have them anymore.
Well, Octane made
But I
a
mean,
good
it's
point.
just-
You get resources back on kill. Like if you get a
Yeah.
kill, you get some of your spells back. I think that's a pretty cool idea.
I agree. If you
I
like,
think that
if
only
you,
makes sense with mobs, though.
yeah,
personally.
yes, for only mobs.
Same.
Yeah, not players.
Well, no,
Like,
like
if
if
you-
you're fighting, right, and you're fighting a team and you kill 2 out of the 3, you're killing the last guy and you start getting thirded, you've gotten some spells back from getting those kills. So like that'll help you deal with the third party a little bit more.
But isn't that essentially just adding more base spell charges? Because if you lose the fight, you're dead.
Well, not necessarily, because if you're missing, you're not going to get rewarded. So it rewards skill.
You get back every spell that you landed or something.
Make it a perk.
If he
Maybe not
dies,
the
suffer.
full thing. Like, if I am okay, what about? Is it all spells or is it just the spell you're using? Like, if it's Holy Strike, if I'm
Like,
hitting,
if you hit him with it, then you get it back.
and that
kinda, maybe, I
includes
don't know.
hitting a teammate with a heal.
Probably not.
Wizard exclusive.
Nah, probably not.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you're like,
Or
yeah.
was it exclusive? Yeah.
I think a perk like that could be cool.
Wizard exclusive, I like. But then poor cleric still has to fucking sit at a campfire.
Fuck
Fuck
clerics. Has
clerics.
anyone ever said poor
Nerf
cleric?
cleric to the ground.
It's fucking boring to have to fucking sit there to get your spells back. I feel bad for
It is.
anyone that has to sit there and hit the G key to play their class. It's not good. Even OP
I don't
fucking
feel bad
clerics.
for clerics though.
All right. I mean, I
Oh,
do.
boo-hoo. They gotta put the campfire down right before they gotta loot the 3 dead people on the floor. Oh, poor clerics.
Tell him, Jay. Tell him.
All right. Fuck
I
clerics.
got a
guess.
campfire once to become Thanos again. Oh my god, my life's miserable. Holy shit.
This is why the
Alright.
clerics don't get the bis already, you know, because they're getting their spells back and teammates are
Exactly.
picking all the grimmies and shit real quick. It's
Exactly.
like weird, and all 3 of these guys no rings.
Exactly. Here's the final question. What do you guys think about less people per lobby? Maybe 4 teams, ruins, 3 crypts, 2 hell lobby or whatever merge, if they do the lobby merge. Every game, like a mini... okay, I don't know what you mean by the end of that. But you kind of fucked up the end of that. A mini tourney with best loot at the end? Stop that. But less people in lobbies. What do you think?
I mean, that's like the other way to help a third party split.
Exactly.
Nobody likes that because why would you want to kill your game like
Yeah.
willingly? Anyway,
I think in solos you could do with maybe 2 or 3 less players per lobby, and you would be just
Sure.
fine. I guess my
In-
perspective is mainly also Goblin Caves.
Yeah, in GC only. I think
Yeah.
ruins
Sure.
is nice. How many?
Because if you don't stay on the edge of the map in GC, every time someone is right at the door as soon as you finish a fight. Every time.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, and on the flip side, empty lobbies suck. It's not fun. There was a moment in the playtest where it was a bug where you would queue up when they first introduced that like outdoor ruins waiting area. And you would queue up, you would go into the map. This one ruins was new. And you and your squad, whether it was trios, would essentially be in a PV only map because no one else was put in that lobby with you. And the first time, it was cool. It was like, oh, okay. Then it happened twice in a row. And that second time, it was so fucking boring that we decided just to go to a different map so that we could get players back again. Because this game is a PV only game without the threat of other human players. It's not nearly as good. I think the PvP, the threat of another group of players is what makes this game really shine. Whether people want to admit it or not, I mean, there's people that are like PV only lobbies. Well, guess what? You're still playing the game right now, aren't you? You're still logging hundreds of hours. You're still main gaming it more than likely. And there's PvP. And you're here watching this podcast right now, right? So the game's doing something right. I don't know. I think a PV only map, an empty lobby, that's a game killer. That's a nail in the coffin, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point because I'm hungry and tired. Does that make any sense?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Good
see
take,
it
though. I agree.
Yeah.
right now when you get an empty lobby. You don't even know. That's the worst part. You don't have the pre-match, so you just walk
True.
around like, are there players? I've done an entire loop around the map. Are we chasing each other, or is there nobody? You leave out mid and there was no one the whole time. Like, ah, shit, this sucks.
Yeah.
Awkward. You just ran through 18 modules and you're the only one in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes you feel weird after.
That's hilarious. Guys, this was we're just at 2 hours. This was a good episode. I think that Q&A definitely helped make this quite a great podcast episode. But what also really helped was 3 fresh faces from the Dark and Darker community jumping in to chat with Jay and I. So thank you guys for coming on. Vincennt,
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Promoz, Euthafro, you guys are awesome. You guys all make fantastic content. Vincennt is this cracked young guy that is a Terminator. Euthafro is this like responsible adult that plays the game, and Promoz is a fucking dirty comedian. So you get all 3 awesome kinds of content buckets here.
He moans in the mic and shit. It's
I've
crazy.
heard it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm known for.
Well, let's save that for later though, okay?
Alright.
Or you could do what you want, actually, Promoz. If you want to groan for us, by all means, do what you got to do. Freedom of
I'll hold
speech.
off.
Okay,
I'll hold
thank you,
off.
sir. Thank you so much.
Next time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Euthafro, where can people find you on the internet?
Euthafro on YouTube and Twitch. I stream to both, but you probably have to type Euthafro Dark and Darker because otherwise you'll get a bunch of philosophy shit. So
Got it. Okay, cool. Vincennt.
I'm Vincennt with 3 N's on Twitch.
All right, beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Wait, 3 N's or 2?
No, 2 is a normal Vincent. It's Vincennt.
Hold
He's
on
typing
a
it out.
second. 1 second, dude. What? Let me fucking see here.
I believe you with your own name, Vincent.
I just wanted to make sure that I had you right in the title. Okay, I just was hoping I didn't fuck your name up. Excellent, got it. Promoz, where can people find you, sir?
Promoz on Twitch, all one word, and YouTube.
Fantastic.
Live every day.
Live every day.
All right.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yappa.
Jay
Unless I'm
Griffia.
on vacation.
You go on vacation? What's
Yeah,
that like?
good time.
Tell Jay about it. Tell Jay about
I
vacations.
mean, I've been on vacation.
Fair enough. You are playing other games. Jay, where can people find you, sir?
Jay Griffey on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, beautiful. I am at Soma on everything except for YouTube, which is at _Soma. You can watch this podcast and my D&D sessions that I play with my nerdy friends in the Foundry virtual tabletop. Right now we're playing a 5th edition D&D campaign. We're about 38 something sessions in, level 13 party. We're fighting like beholders and shit at this point. It's pretty badass. So if you're into actual D&D, not dad, but the original Dungeons and Dragons, feel free to watch that shit. Awesome episode, boys. Thank you so much for joining. Jay, you're free to leave and go glob it up, brother. And
Hell yeah, dude.
fuck yeah, glonky, brother, glonky. You gotta do it. I get it. Do it up. Have a great night. We will see you guys next week with Odin and Seb. Little Iron.
movie.
Nice.
Jay's gonna be the only non-company man. So there you go.
Nice.
That'll be a good episode. I don't know if Odin and Seb know they're on next week yet, but they'll find out soon. All
Who's
right.
Seb.
Seb is
Seb?
Faseb, exactly. Faseb in the Discord. He does some balancing stuff and whatnot.
Head of Night Sky.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Beautiful. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week, chat. And we will see you for episode 77 next Tuesday. Take it easy.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.
Like,
Goodbye.